Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and legwork of other people to further your own cause. Not only will their assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. In the end, your helpers will be forgotten. You will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. A transgression and observance of the law. In 1883, a young Serbian scientist named Nikola Tesla was working for the European division of the Continental Edison Company. He was a brilliant inventor. A plant manager named Charles Batchelor, a personal friend of Thomas Edison, was so impressed that he persuaded Tesla to seek his fortune in America and gave him a letter of introduction to Edison himself. What followed was a life of hardship and betrayal that would last until Tesla's death. When Tesla met Edison in New York, the famous inventor hired him on the spot. Tesla worked 18-hour days, finding ways to improve Edison's primitive dynamos. Eventually, he offered to redesign them completely. To Edison, the project seemed enormous. It could take years without any guarantee of results. But he told Tesla, "There's $50,000 in it for you, if you can do it." Tesla labored day and night. After just 1 year, he produced a greatly improved dynamo, complete with automatic controls. He went to Edison with the good news, ready to collect his $50,000. Edison was pleased with the improvement, which he and his company would take full credit for. But when it came time to pay, he told the young Serb with a smile, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." He offered a small raise instead. Tesla's deepest obsession was the creation of an alternating current system of electricity, known as AC. Edison believed firmly in the direct current system, DC, and not only refused to support Tesla's research, but later did everything in his power to sabotage it. Tesla turned instead to the great Pittsburgh industrialist George Westinghouse, who had founded his own electricity company. Westinghouse fully funded Tesla's research and offered him a generous royalty agreement on future profits. The alternating current system that Tesla developed is still the global standard today. But after the patents were filed in his name, other scientists stepped forward to claim credit, insisting they had laid the groundwork. Tesla's name was lost in the shuffle. The public came to associate the invention with Westinghouse himself. Then came another blow. Westinghouse found himself targeted in a takeover bid by the powerful financier J. Pierpont Morgan, who pressured him to cancel the generous royalty contract he had signed with Tesla. Westinghouse explained to the scientist that his company simply could not survive if it had to pay the full royalties owed. He persuaded Tesla to accept a buyout of his patents for $216,000, a significant sum, certainly, but a fraction of the $12 million they were worth at the time. In one move, the financiers had stripped Tesla of his wealth, his patents, and essentially the credit for the greatest invention of his career. The name of Guglielmo Marconi is forever linked with the invention of radio. But few people know that when Marconi broadcast a signal across the English Channel in 1899, he did so using a patent Tesla had filed 2 years earlier, and that his entire body of work depended heavily on Tesla's prior research. Once again, Tesla received neither money nor recognition. Tesla also invented the induction motor and the alternating current power system. He is, in truth, the real father of radio. Yet none of these discoveries bear his name. In his final years, he lived in poverty. In 1917, during those impoverished later years, Tesla was informed that he was to receive the Edison Medal from the American Institute of Electrical Engineers. He turned it down. "You propose," he said, to honor me with a medal which I could pin upon my coat and strut for a vain hour before the members of your institute. You would decorate my body and continue to let my starve for failure to supply recognition, my mind and its creative products, which have supplied the foundation upon which the major portion of your institute exists. Interpretation. Many people harbor the illusion that science, dealing as it does in facts and evidence, exists above the petty rivalries that trouble the rest of the world. Nikola Tesla was one of those people. He believed science had nothing to do with politics and claimed not to care for fame or money. But as he grew older, this belief destroyed him. Not firmly associated with any single discovery, he could attract no investors to his many ideas. While he dreamed of future inventions, others quietly stole the patents he had already developed and claimed the glory for themselves. He wanted to do everything on his own, and exhausted and impoverished himself in the process. Edison was Tesla's polar opposite. He wasn't much of a scientific thinker or inventor in the traditional sense. He once said he had no need to be a mathematician because he could always hire one. That was his method. Edison was, at his core, a businessman and a publicist. He spotted the trends and opportunities in the world around him, then hired the best minds in the field to do the actual work. When necessary, he would steal outright from his competitors. Yet his name is far better known than Tesla's and is associated with more inventions than any single man could reasonably claim. The lesson is twofold. First, the credit for an invention or creation is just as important, if not more important, than the invention itself. You must secure that credit for yourself and guard it fiercely against those who would steal it or ride on the back of your hard work. To do this, you must stay vigilant and strategic, keeping your work close until you're certain no vultures are circling. Second, learn to make use of other people's efforts to advance your own cause. Time is precious. Life is short. If you try to do everything yourself, you burn out, waste energy, and run yourself into the ground. It is far better to conserve your strength, build on the work others have already done, and find a way to make it your own. As Thomas Edison himself once said,
"Everybody steals in commerce and industry. I've stolen a lot myself, but I know how to steal."